Hey guys, Soulard here, back again with another action figure review, and to the surprise of many of you out there, today we'll be taking a look at the Star Wars Black Series Knights of the Old Republic, Darth Mallak. Okay, I need to quit it with the Christmas puns, but I can't help it, it's so easy with this one. I mean, it is a Hawaiian Christmas greeting after all, but today we're taking a look at Darth Mallak, brought to us by the fine folks over at Hasbro, and listen, much like Marvel Legends, Star Wars Black Series has been hit or miss for me for the past couple years now. So if you're wondering why out of the blue I'm doing the Star Wars Black Series review, it's because A, I really like this figure, I really like the Knights of the Old Republic stuff, and will most likely continue doing reviews of these characters until, you know, we have all of the Darth characters, like Darth Talon, Darth Krayt, Darth Nil. Is it Nil? And Darth Bane, maybe Darth Plagueis, and so on and so forth. I'm sure there are more than I am forgetting, but the Darth characters from the Knights of the Old Republic and or comic book stuff from the video games in the mid-2000s and whatnot is kind of my jam when it comes to Star Wars, along with the Clone Wars animated series. I just think that's probably some of the best Star Wars stuff out there, along with the original trilogy, of course, because you can't knock a classic, right? Empire Strikes Back. It's probably my favorite of the three. What's yours? Let me know in the comments. But with all that being said, let's go right to the chase and take a quick look-see at Darth Mallak here, because in true Star Wars Black Series fashion, while there is a unique sculpt to talk about here, not a whole lot of accessories. In fact, his only accessory is his lightsaber. Very cool hilt on that. I like the prongs that come up. The blade is, of course, removable, as is the case with all Black Series lightsabers. And if we take a look-see at Mallak here, he does have a holster on the back to store that. So we can put that in there for safekeeping for now. Look at that. I always appreciate weapon storage, but the only thing is you don't get a place to stick the blade itself. I guess you could put it up his bunghole, but he probably wouldn't appreciate that. Much like he wouldn't appreciate why he has this breathing apparatus here. And what you can do, you can actually take this thing off. It splits down the middle, kind of, sorta. And off the side, and you can see that his jaw is completely cut the heck off, much like Trapjaw from Masters of the Universe. That's absolutely freaking terrifying. I guess Darth Revan did this. That's what I've heard through ye old grapevine in other reviews of this figure, is that Darth Revan lopped off this guy's jaw, so that wasn't very nice. So if I can get this mask back on. It is a little tricky, but with a little finesse you can get her done. It's almost on there. There we go. There we go. Now it's on there. But really cool gimmick. You can pop that off. I was not expecting that when I got this figure, but very glad it does do that. That's cool. It's not every day you see a action feature on an action figure, especially not one from Hasbro. So with that being said, it should be worth noting that Darth Mallak here also gets his name from a demon. I don't believe it's one of the 7 Princes of Hell, but I do believe he is a demon warlord. So watch out for that, I guess. But as far as his articulation goes, his head does rotate and look up and down a little bit. It's hindered a lot, though. That said, his shoulders can go up pretty far. There is a butterfly joint in there, but you ain't gonna get squat out of that. It can rotate forward and back. He does have a single jointed elbow here. Which gets you well over 90 degrees. That's impressive. That's like some Four Horsemen Studios Figura Obscura Mask of the Red Death style articulation there. He does have a wrist swivel with the appropriate hinge for holding weapons on both sides, mind you. So that's cool. I dig that. He's got a double ball joint in the torso. So he's got one in the diaphragm and one in the waist that crunch forward and back. He can tilt side to side as well as rotate. His hips will kick out about that far. He does have a thigh cut. But you don't really need that because he does have a knee swivel and a single jointed knee, which does get you slightly more than 90, if not just about. And then he's got a hinge in the foot with a raka and peg holes at the bottom of the feet, or a stand if you wanted to give him one. You can of course kick forward and back minimally because of the plastic skirt. So a wicked looking figure. I'm not sure if I'll have him or another character that I'll bring out for size comparisons in just a moment here on the top figures of the year video, but you know, as far as Black Series goes, it's between him and that other guy. So with that being said, it's time now that we move right along and take a look at some size comparisons. First up, here is Darth Mallak alongside a couple other characters from the Knights of the Old Republic. Darth Revan to the left, and the hunk of chunk of burning plastic known as Darth Malgus to the right. Reveal him coming tomorrow, so stay tuned for that. That said, you can kind of see the increase of scale between these three characters there. Darth Revan is little teeny tiny. Darth Mallak is somewhere in the middle, and Darth Malgus is, again, a hunk of chunk of burning plastic. So let's actually get Darth Revan out of here before he cuts off something more important from Darth Mallak, like his family jewels. I mean, you can live without your job, but the family jewels, not so much. That said, this of course would not be one of my reviews without bringing in the Mythic Legion's Brother Mandibulus. And of course, the infamous 11 Spawn, who, like Darth Malgus, towers over everyone. So with that being said, it's time now that we wrap things up. Some final thoughts. Overall, and even though it's been a hot minute since I've looked at anything Star Wars related on Ye Olde Overlord Productions channel here, I gotta tell you, the Darth Mallak is probably one of the better offerings I've looked at over the course of my entire YouTube career. I mean, these Knights of the Old Republic characters do something not just for me, but for the majority of the Star Wars community, and I'm just surprised that it took the fine folks over at Hasbro so long to finally start dipping their toes back into these characters, because we've had Revan for a hot minute. So much so, I think he even has an archive release now and a White Cloak variant. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that's a thing. I know there's a Darth Nihilus out there, which I do have, but that's not the best figure out of these Knights of the Old Republic offerings. All the other ones have unique molds. He is heavy reuse of Darth Maul, so probably won't be looking at him anytime soon. But if you want to see a review of him, or anything else Star Wars related, let me know in the comments, because I do have quite a bit on the back burner. I have most of the Bad Batch. I got some stuff from The Mandalorian, and of course the Clone Wars animated series, because that is what got me into Star Wars in the first place. So with that being said, I hope you guys enjoyed this review, and until next time, I'll catch you guys later.